On October 13th, 2019, Polish citizens will head to the polls to elect the 460 members of the Sejm and the 100 members of the Senate. Europe Elects is proud to introduce the main coalitions running in this election. The senators are elected in a first-past-the-post system, while the Sejm members are elected in multi-member constituencies with a national threshold of 5% for parties and 8% for coalitions. It's important to mention that, although the main runners who appear on the polls are technically coalitions, they're running as one-party committees. This means that members of smaller political parties run under the banner of a larger and sometimes more well-established party. This way, the parties avoid an 8% threshold, which is in place for party coalitions, and instead have to surpass the 5% threshold for political parties. Also, there is one guaranteed seat in the Sejm for the German minority, which does not need to pass the electoral threshold. Prawo I sprawiedliwość. Law and Justice. Prawo I sprawiedliwość, Law and Justice in English, is a national conservative party. This party was created in 2001 by rebel conservatives in the Solidarity Electoral Action Coalition, led by then Minister of Justice and later President of Poland, Lech Kaczynski, after infighting broke up the coalition. They would continue to slowly grow in popularity, forming a coalition government in 2005 until 2007. Finally, in 2015, they won an absolute majority and formed a government with small ally parties and independents. The party strongly opposes progressivism or liberalism and have adopted a neo-Keynesian economic policy, fighting economic inequalities by implementing extensive social welfare programs. PIS is against the expansion of LGBTI rights and supports the conservative Catholic tradition. PIS is a soft Eurosceptic party, standing against some common European policies such as refugee quotas for EU countries and common justice rules. The party is especially critical about the influence of Russian President Vladimir Putin in EU member states. PIS is a one-party committee, having many candidates from other parties running alongside PIS candidates. This includes the National Conservative Porozumienie and the National Conservative Solidarna Polska. Jarosław Kaczynski is running as the main candidate for PIS in this election. He's the twin brother of the late Lech Kaczynski, with whom he co-founded PIS and later replaced as the party's leader in 2003. Kaczynski was Prime Minister of Poland from 2006 to 2007. Law and Justice is part of Zjednoczona Prawica, or the United Right Coalition, which forms the current government. On the European level, they co-founded the ECR group and their respective party, the ACRE. Before that, they were members of the Union for a Europe of the Nations group and the Alliance for Europe of the Nations party. Koalicja Obywatelska, the Civic Coalition. Koalicja Obywatelska, or Civic Coalition in English, is a centrist group. Koalicja Obywatelska is a coalition formed primarily by the Platforma Obywatelska, Nowoczesna, and other small parties as a continuation of their previous coalition, the European Platform. Platforma Obywatelska was founded in 2001 as the center-right split of the Solidarity Electoral Action Coalition. It quickly grew in popularity and led governments from 2007 until 2015 with the PSL as their junior partner. Nowoczesna, on the other hand, was an organization created to promote classical liberalism, which eventually evolved into a political party. Although rivals in the past, Nowoczesna and PO came together with the common goal of defeating PIS. The main leadership of the coalition states that their 6 most important issues are stagnant wages, fighting against water and air pollution, reform of the education system, reform of health services, increasing social benefits for elderly people, and the democratization of Poland. Koalicja Obywatelska is very pro-European and want to strengthen ties with the EU. Minor members of the coalition include Inicjatywa Polska, a socially liberal, progressive, and anti-clerical party, and Zieloni, which promotes green politics, social liberalism, and progressivism. The leader of KO is Grzegorz Schetyna. He served as an MP from 1997 until 2011. Minister of Interior and Administration, as well as Deputy Prime Minister from 2007 until 2009, Acting President in 2010, and Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2014 until 2015. Their candidate for Prime Minister, however, is Małgorzata Kidawa-Błońska, who has been an MP since 2005. Both of them are members of PO. Koalicja Obywatelska is the main opposition force in Poland. On the European level, PO is a member of the EPP group and party, Nowoczesna is allied with the ALDE party and the Renew Europe group in the European Parliament, Zieloni is a member of the European Green Party and is associated with the GEFA group, and Inicjatywa Polska has no formal ties, but it's close to the PES party and the S&D group. Polskie Stronnictwo Ludowe, Koalicja Polska, Polish People's Party, the Polish Coalition. PSL, the Polish Coalition, is a mostly center-right conservative and agrarian movement. It's a one-party committee, but by de facto, it's a coalition formed by the PSL and Kukiz 15 as their main members. The Polish People's Party is one of Poland's oldest political parties, founded in 1895 as the People's Party. It changed its name to PSL in 1903 to differentiate itself from other people's parties. It was banned under the communist regime and served in the government in exile. It was allowed to compete in the 1947 elections, but it was forced to adopt a pro-communist platform and joined the United People's Party. During the 90s, the PSL re-emerged and would be coalition partners with the SLD until 2001, when a huge defeat moved them to a conservative and agrarian right-wing stance. K15, on the other hand, was created by former musician Paweł Kukiz in 2015 as an anti-establishment protest party running with the national movement. After long negotiations, these two parties achieved consensus and formed a national coalition in July 2019. During negotiations, Liberal Conservative, UED, and some other minor parties and organizations joined with them. PSL-KP seeks to improve the working conditions of Polish farmers, strengthen ties between the state and the church, and make Polish democracy more direct. PSL-KP opposes progressive ideas, such as the legalization of same-sex partnerships and the legalization of abortion law. PSL-KP also wants to fight water and air pollution and reorganize the Polish energy production system. PSL-KP is pro-European and wants to strengthen ties with the EU countries. Also running with those two parties are Unia Europejskich Demokratów, a social and classical liberal centrist party, Stronnictwo Demokratyczne, the Democratic Alliance, an economic and socially liberal anti-authoritarian party which has existed since 1937, and other center-right parties and organizations which support local autonomism or Christian democracy. Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz leads the Polish coalition. He's a physician by trade who first served as councilman in Kraków from 2010 until 2011. He was then appointed Minister of Labor and Social Affairs from 2011 until 2015 when the PO-PSL coalition lost their majority, but he was later elected to the Sejm. All members of the Polish coalition are in opposition to the PIS government. On the European level, PSL sits with the EPP group and is a member of the EPP party. The UED is associated with the ALDE party. The Democratic Alliance is a member of the European Democratic Party and used to be in the ALDE group, known today as Renew Europe. Kukiz 15 was allied with the Italian Movimento 5 Stelle in the 2019 European elections, but failed to win any seats. Sojusz Lewicy Demokratycznej, the Democratic Left Alliance, or Lewica. Sojusz Lewicy Demokratycznej, or the Democratic Left Alliance, is a one-party committee which ranges ideologically from the center-left to the left-wing. It was founded in 1991 as a coalition of minor left-wing movements and the bigger social democracy of the Republic of Poland. Since its creation, it's been in two governments, one in coalition with the PSL. The party, however, began to lose support after 2004 and was left out of parliament after it failed to reach the required threshold in the 2015 legislative elections. The SLD does not oppose the social welfare programs implemented by the PIS government and supports the expansion of programs which seek to reduce economic inequality and improve the living conditions of the working class. SLD's program is progressive. They seek to renegotiate the Concordat between the state and the Holy See, as well as legalize same-sex marriages and some forms of abortion. SLD also wants to fight global warming by implementing a carbon tax and eliminating fossil fuels. The party's pro-European, seeking further European integration and greater cooperation between member states. SLD is a one-party committee, but they're a de facto coalition formed by the SLD, Razem, and Viosna, who work together under a national affiliation called Levica. Levica includes Razem, a democratic socialist and progressive party founded in 2015, and Viosna, a social liberal, progressive, and anti-clerical party founded in 2019. Vladimir Charzasty, a perennial candidate of the Democratic Left Alliance, leads the party, but Adrian Zonsberg will likely be their candidate for prime minister. He's an academic, programmer, and a longtime activist who worked as the youth coordinator of the Left Union's UP Youth Federation until 2005, when he left to found his own party, the Union of the Left. This party would later be rebranded as Freedom and Equality. He then left that party and became a member of the Supreme Council of the Polish Socialist Party until 2015, when he co-founded Razem, where he gained national attention, but has failed to be elected MP or MEP. After losing representation in the Sejm and the Senate in 2015, the SLD has acted as an extra-parliamentary opposition force to the PIS-led government. SLD and Viosna MEPs sit with the SND group, with the SLD being a full member of the Party of European Socialists. Razem, on the other hand, is allied with the left-wing DiEM25 movement of Yanis Varoufakis and ran with the European Spring Party in the EU election. Confederacja, Confederation. Confederacja, or Confederation in English, is a coalition of right-wing to far-right parties. It was created ahead of the 2019 European elections, but failed to win any seats. Confederacja is strongly socially conservative. The party is critical of foreign support to Israel and Jewish groups seeking reparations for the Holocaust. They also have extremely unfavorable views of the LGBTI community, calling them a danger to Polish society. They support abolishing most taxes, especially personal income taxes. They campaign on the privatization of public services such as healthcare or education. Furthermore, they seek deep institutional change, such as changing Poland from a semi-presidential republic to fully presidential or even a monarchy with control over defense and culture. They're a hard Eurosceptic party and support leaving the European Union and the elimination of the bloc as a whole. Confederacja is a one-party committee, but it's made out of a few parties and organizations like Korwin, which is a paleo-libertarian and traditionalist party, Ruch Narodowy, a nationalist, Catholic, and somewhat economically liberal party, Polska Partia Kierowców, that seeks to reduce bureaucracy and transportation, Zjednoczenie Chrześcijańskich Rodzin, a socially conservative movement, Liga Narodowa, an anti-immigration and strongly nationalist party formerly associated with PIS, as well as various activists from right-wing and anti-establishment groups such as the anti-vaccine organization Stop NOP. Confederacja is led by Janusz Korwin-Mikke, an economist and political activist who founded and led many parties previously. He was an MP in 1991 and is well known for his strong stance against Polish political elites from the communist regime period. He went on to be a perennial candidate for many Sejm, Senate, presidential, and European elections, until finally being elected MEP in 2014, until 2018 when he resigned. Confederacja stands in opposition to the current government and have no official affiliation with any European party or group. However, in the 2014 to 2019 European parliamentary term, Korwin had one MEP sitting in the populist EFDD group, which dissolved after the 2019 European elections.